Thin one, go there. Very thin one, thin one. Mm. If not, never mind about it. Okay. Om. Namaste. Welcome everyone to Satsang today. And big welcome. Lovely to see you, many faces. No, we'll leave this. And welcoming also the many friends who are looking in from, joining us from different parts of the world through broadcasting. Welcome. And again, very much looking forward to our meeting today. Is it possible that we could have such a meeting? Is it possible, in any case, anywhere, for there to be a meeting, a true meeting, whereby we're never strangers again? Is such a thing possible? I don't know if this is a bit too loud. Is it possible that it could happen, a meeting whereby we are never strangers again? Because throughout our life we have many meetings. Some people are meeting new people every day. And some people, they're seeing the same people every day. And in some of those meetings where we're seeing each other every day, there are some few beings who perceive still a freshness each time we come to look into each other's eyes again. There's a freshness there, meaning they're not carrying over some old memory of how you were yesterday. There's something so fresh in them. But back to my first question, is it possible? What kind of meeting would it have to be whereby after it has taken place, no longer can we ever be strangers again? No longer can we ever sustain an idea of being divided or separate. And would we even wish for such a meeting? Would we even wish for such a meeting like that? Why would I even say this? Sometimes there is a feeling that I need to retain my individuality, my separateness. Even in the most intimate relationship, I still need to be separate. So we would have to examine that, because there is a separateness that is quite healthy. There is a separateness which is quite healthy. If the encounters we have with each other create more fragmentation, more excitement, more distraction, more stress, more expectations, more projections, then you may wish to retain your individuality and the sense of being separate from that. But could it possibly be that we may come to such an encounter with a being in this life that you would not wish to have even a millionth of a millimeter's separation even? Is it possible, or is it just fantasy? Where there's no difference, there's no distance, there's no really other. That all these notions, they perish. They cannot be kept up inside. What kind of contact would that have to be? And it cannot even be a contact. Because even the idea of contact would also dissolve. Because contact means one thing meeting another thing. We say sometimes like this, when the raindrop is falling towards the ocean, if we could imagine a raindrop could think and feel, it might feel some hesitation or fear. When I meet the ocean, that's the end of me. When it meets the ocean, could it survive to say and to talk about this meeting? Oh, it was such a nice meeting. I am still me and there is still ocean. Let's not go so far so early. Let's leave a little space for some experiment, some experience. You want to say something? Okay, come. This one looks... Yes.
It is wonderful because what you just said comes to meet what I wanted to ask you. And I feel that I cannot tell where the I ends and the you begins. But there are times when the truth is there is the desire of physical presence of you. And it's so intense that creates a contraction into the consciousness. So my question is, if there is such a desire still,
and the desire is again to
be in your physical presence, although I know, I feel, I know that the truth is, I feel it most of the times that there's nothing in
why
between.
not enjoy both? Why not enjoy both? Is it possible that there has to be exchange? When you realize the truth, does your senses stop functioning?
It is as if if consciousness indulges this play of beautiful just to love itself through, I don't know, it's...
Yes. There is a saying, I said before, we want to taste the honey, we don't want to be the honey. We don't want to be the honey. No, I love tasting the honey, because that there's a relationship with that. And, so that's also, if you are speaking now, as you said, also consciousness is playing this part. And if you know, am I different from this consciousness which is playing this part also? There are some things, and sometimes we have the sense that we have learned something and that we know it. But our so-called knowledge collapses under stress. If there is something, some pressure, you have no ground, no power. Is there such a thing whereby in different moods, in different environments, in different pressures, it still retains its integrity, you see? It's just something inside like that. It doesn't matter if it's rain or sun or it's nice or if it's with people who are friendly towards me or are unkind towards me. This is a constant. Something here is constant. It cannot be defined with the limitations such as like it's a mood or it's my attitude. Attitudes are not constant. If there's a person behind them, it is not constant. It has to be out of the reach of a person, because the person itself is inconsistent. We have made many vows that we have broken, many promises we cannot keep, many grand statements which we soon forget. The person is inconsistent. But there is something deeper within us than merely a person. This is my talk at the moment. What is the person? Personality. The idea we have of who we are is that the fact of what we are, you see. When we have many, many ideas about ourselves at different times, even in one single day, we may express so many different things about ourselves and say, yes, this I am, and next minute, no, I'm not that, depending on who you're talking with. So we are not speaking about an area which is constant, and we have had many self-portraits. Sometimes we say, this is how I am, this is who I am, take it or leave it, you know, I cannot change who I am, and so on. And then very soon after, you are very much changed. We are like chameleons. This is not a bad thing also, if seen in the right way, because it is true that our consciousness is very flexible. So there's something not so bad that we feel differently at different times. But if that's only as far as it goes, if that's only what you say you know of yourself, then there is a limitation there. There's something earlier than this, untouched by the waves of life and of moods and efforts and so on.
There is an equanimity.
Equanimity.
Equanimity, and in everything except when it comes to meeting you, I saw that.
Oh my God. You're going to have to kill me today.
I realized that I'd thrown everything in the fire except
Yes.
you.
Am I worth throwing in the fire?
This is what I wanted to ask.
Then you have to find out.
Because I mean,
you cannot, it says, enter this fire of self-discovery. I say this. This fire will not burn you. It will only burn what you're not. So there's no need to be afraid to go in with everything, knowing that if something is not true, that will be burnt. And what is true and what is truth cannot be burnt. Isn't it? So you must bring me into the fire with you. And if I burn, then you say, okay. Maybe we'll both burn. And what comes out of the fire will be something purer than the ideas we have of who we are. Don't be so afraid. And it is not so huge a sacrifice. We create this painful duality. In India, there is no such talk, actually. And then also, you must also burn your Guruji or your Master also. And what about you yourself? Yes, I have to burn this. And what is the terror? Then you go into the fire together and see if both burn, rather than wondering about it. Go in the fire. If they are true, then they'll stay true. What is this fire? The fire of self-investigation is good. This is what we are going to do and continuing to do today. The fire of surrender, of devotion, of love, fire of truth. I want to explore with anyone who is open to look. I feel this is the only credible way in which we can say, have this meeting whereby duality, separation is over. Then you must come to something beyond separation. And I want to put that to the test today. Why not? What is the highest, in your view, what is the highest attainment possible in the human kingdom? We all have human body. In the human body, consciousness moves in a very sophisticated way, very diverse. Of all the species on the planet, Consciousness expresses most diversely through the human form. And it's a very complex manifestation. How can we be one? In what way? In behavior, not really. We'll find differences. No, no, no. We're not the same. He's like this and that. In what way are we one? In look, every single human being, even twins, they have identity, unique features and so on. There are some differences there. In philosophy, differences are there. In religion, you say, okay, let's get rid of all the Muslims and the Hindus and everybody now, and just us Christians will be, because we are one. Then when all the so-called enemies are gotten rid of, let's start looking at ourselves. And you start to find, oh, you're not the same Christian like me. Okay? Another one, you're not this. And then you are come down to what? An army of one. You find I'm actually different from everybody even. So when is it going to stop? Then even yourself also, you find you're different from yourself. Even your own mind becomes your own enemy. Who are you? So sometimes we have to question some very basic assumptions, and it might for a while create more confusion. It seems, oh my God, I feel even more confused. Just like when you're spring cleaning your house, when you're giving a weekend tidy up, it will look very messy for a while. But it's on the way to becoming order again. When we begin to look deeply into our own being, sometimes things will, oh my God, it's such a mess. But as you continue looking, things begin to fall into place, and a new harmony is felt. Are you up for it, you see? If you're happy with things as they are, go carry on. Good luck. But if something must be driving you to come to a place like this on a Sunday, sit down looking, who am I? Who else is asking this question in your family? Nobody's asking. We ask, who are you? And who is she? And who is he? But who am I? Nobody asks this question. We already assume, why I question myself? I know who I am. And when you ask, well, who precisely are you? Maybe we don't know. You know more about other people than about you. In the deep truth. I'm not talking about knowing about our egos. That which perceive ego itself.
I used to think that I had a mother and a father who gave me birth and a name. And you took away my birth.
You take away your parents and your birth and everything?
You took away everything.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to get into a lot of trouble.
And my name.
And your name also, my gosh.
So this is what I feel for you because of this.
When your name and your heritage and your family and your identity are removed, are you an orphan?
No. This is exactly why there's so much love and gratitude for you. So this is, although I know we are one, this cannot drop.
Would you think your mother might be pleased also?
I think that if she looks into my eyes, yes.
Good. Okay. I just thought maybe Mother's Day is coming soon. I don't know. This man has taken your daughter and removed you. And I didn't do anything at all.
Otherwise, I feel well, I don't actually have a mother. Everybody is my mother and my father and my son and my brother.
That's what Jesus said. You know this?
No.
One time he was in a house having satsang. Jesus had also satsang. Okay? Thank you. And his mother and brothers, also, you know, he had brothers as well? Yeah, he had brothers. They came looking for him. And when they came, the house was full. And they couldn't get in. So they sent message inside. Tell him his mother and his brothers are here. So somebody came and says, Jesus, your mother and your brothers are outside. And he says, my mother and my brothers are those who hear the word of God and obey them inside their hearts. They are my real mothers and they are my real brothers. And yet that was not really a disrespect to his earthly mother. It was not like that. But he was driving something much more deeply. Because as you come more fully into your own self, your own truth, you realize that I don't have to reject my earthly parents. Just that somehow my family has expanded to the whole world, actually. How could he say that? Another time he says, trust in God. Trust also in me. Jesus said that. Because I have overcome the world. Not I have overpowered it. It was not a physical thing. I have overcome its influence. I have transcended now. How can you overcome the world and probably you probably never left Palestine? I know people said that he went to Kashmir and all these things. I don't know. But I don't think he came to Portugal. I don't think he came to Jamaica. Not directly. Yet he could say, I have overcome the world. What it means. Where is this world? You have never traveled out of your own village, out of your own country. How can you say, I have overcome the world? The world is here. That in here is even larger than the physical world. I've overcome its influence, its power, its distracting influence. Cannot anymore bind me. The Buddha also said like that. The moment he realized the truth of himself. How long this delusion has held me captive. Now I have broken the rich pole, meaning the one thing that's holding the whole structure of the ego up. This I have snapped now, and it will remain snapped forever for me. There have been many people who were famous in their times. Many great politicians and great world leaders. But after they left office, nobody remembered them. Who? Oh, I don't remember him. But these beings are beings now, they were around physically 2,000, 2,500 years ago. And still new people are remembering them. People born just a few years ago cannot forget about who these beings are. Why? Because they build empires? No. Because they discovered who they are. No one physically in the time of Christ or the Buddha, you can say, are here today. Maybe you have been. We don't know. In an old life, maybe you might have been sitting at the Buddha's feet, I don't know. But if he had finished you there and then, what the hell are you doing here? Isn't it? But now we are here. This we know about. You are here now. There are no human beings in front of us. Those not yet born are not yet here now. It's our turn. We're here. We're looking into the same ancient question to find out what is timeless, not just what is ancient. The question might be ancient, but the discovery is timeless. I wonder what we can discover today.
I would also want to ask you for an advice. Everything fell away. No job, no money, no future, no things, no nothing.
Why are you smiling like that when you say these things? You're supposed to be crying and miserable and falling to bits. What's that? Come on, tell me then. Finish it. What happened?
There's just this this feeling of, okay, let's see what remains when everything is taken away. So, well, okay. And there is also the like a pull to just stay quiet into this.
Because you have to say more, because you're not really advertising me well, you know. I know you, I lost my family and everything, my name, you know, and then my job, no money, and my God.
And I'm so grateful.
I just have to say, uh, one does not have to lose one's job or lose your country, lose your family and stuff in any kind of physical way to discover the truth. It's not such a gamble. Hmm? But I hear you in the truth of what you say, because it's a very subtle thing you're saying. What is has no parents. That's what you're saying. What is, not the ego. The ego has a lot of relationships. But what really is, what I truly am, have no second. What I truly am have no real sense of other, has no past to talk about or future to aspire to. It is complete in itself. It is not personal. It is not personal, you see. It cannot be defined. It cannot be shown. It has no color. You cannot take a photograph of it, nor make a painting of it. It is beyond and out of the reach of all those attempts. It is so pure. Then where is it? Where is this thing which is so pure? In what dimension, what domain is it? I want to find it. How are you going to answer such a thing? So those who discovered it, they kept quiet. Because if we speak about it, then people are going to ask, okay, show it to me. I say, I cannot show it to you. I am it, actually. I cannot show you. And you will not understand. Not yet, not now, not like this. You see? So better keep quiet about it. In a place like this you can speak. And even here some will not understand. And I'm not speaking so that you have some intellectual understanding of this, but to invite you into the living experience of discovering your true nature and the unbound joy, the freedom from the psychological influence of your psychological mindset. And to be as you are. In whatever situation, whatever environment, whatever circumstances, the constant is ever present. And it is distanceless. So I don't advise you go around and tell anybody, I lost my job, I lost my family, I have no mother, I have no father, I have no money, I have no place to live, I have nothing at all. I'm not this body.
I've made such a mistake
You
before.
made the mistake before, yes, yes.
And I've seen the consequences. This is why I do everything to come here so that I can talk about it.
It's a place of refuge, this one. Yeah, okay. Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Gotcha. Okay. Please come.
Namaste.
Namaste.
It's so beautiful to be sitting in front of you instead of seeing you in a little box on top
Oh
of my
yes, I was
desk.
trying to get out of this box.
Oh. Well, I think I could do a better advertisement for you.
Aye.
I want to thank you for bringing me to this level of seeing. You said something one time on YouTube, on a video, that the mind is just an energy field that we look through. And in that moment I saw myself as just the awareness that looks through this energy field of thought. And it became so clear.
Yes.
In that moment. And there was a tremendous relief. There was tears of relief. And I thought, how come I've lived my life so long with such a struggle when there was this simple way of looking that brought so much joy,
Yes.
overwhelming joy.
Yes.
I applied that way of looking at the time to an issue I was having in a relationship where there was some sadness, and I looked at it as a witness, I suppose, and there was no issue. It didn't exist. But then it wasn't just the issue that didn't exist, the person I had the issue with didn't exist.
Oh dear.
Yeah, and I thought, how can this be? He does exist. It's a form, it's a person, it's there. But it became so diminished. The idea that it was just an idea. And that I was struggling with something that was laughable, even. And so I turned that looking onto myself then, and I disappeared as well. So, and there was no more to say. It was, the issue was gone, the person didn't exist, and neither did I. So,
This is beautiful. Something people need to hear. Something is present to witness the disappearing of you. Something remains that witnesses the disappearing, the disappearance, the vanishing of the you. And the you, or the I that we have been living as, which I sometimes refer to as the idea we have of who we are. Not the truth of who we are, but the idea we have of who we are, who we take ourselves to be. And the idea we have of who we are is suffering from other ideas it is projecting about itself and the world. It's like it lives through you. It's an idea that is carried through you because it cannot exist without you. who is the source and the root and the perceiver of that idea. Now, you may have to take a couple of takes on this to really stop and to reflect on that, on the profundity of such a discovery, if it is to be made and to settle itself inside your heart. Because many people have this experience, sometimes unasked for. It happens. But it triggered a fear. A fear comes very quick. And the fear says, I can't afford to live like this. I can't afford this understanding. It is too powerful. It is going to change the idea I have of who I am so radically. And I am not ready for it. But that reaction is coming from the idea you have of who you are, and not from the real self. So something needs to be in place to really understand, to really discern whose voice is this, who is it who is reacting against this spontaneous insight or experience. Because very quickly it is given to the mind. And again, we, like a reflex, your energy goes back to the mind and you're again into your mental self. And the story continue. The story continue. The duality continue. The dramas continue. The karmas continue. The ups and downs continue. And it's not once that this has occurred in you. Maybe not twice, maybe not 3 times, maybe many times. Insights burst open inside, but we ignore them. A flash that's infinitely broader than your usual perspective occur or arises spontaneously within us. But something turns away, like quickly it goes to the mind again. For a moment, you have a glimpse into the infinite. And it doesn't say you are different from me. But fear arises. Whose fear is it? On whom does the fear impact? Now there are some beings, when this experience, this opening takes place, they take hold of it. Something stays with it. They say, I want to sink more into this. Because here, my psychological self, my ego self is not here. But I, as my true self, am here. And there is not a way in which I can speak to others about this. Not yet. Don't be in too much of a hurry to try and share with other people. It can also be a device from your psychological mind for you to lose it. Keep quiet. Some people come here, they are totally prepared to be immersed in the energy field of this type of research, inner research. Because they see how easy things slip back into the chamber of the mind again. And we just carry on as though nothing has ever happened. And every moment, the supreme, the magic, the beauty of life opens its flower inside your garden, but you do not take the smell even. Just on your bike. You see, because something, our culture, conditioning, desires, fears, projections, get in the way of allowing that flower to open completely. When the flower is opening, you pick it and you want to put it in some vase, but it's not for that.
The impact of that moment
Yes.
is still with me.
Yes.
in a way that I do understand now that it's all happening by itself and there is nothing for me to do. I just have to allow.
There is something, and I want to tell you, it's like a something, nothing. You said there's nothing for me to do. Nothing for me to do. I would like to invite, at this moment, beautiful as what you're saying is, I'd like to invite you to something. You still have the sense of me. There's nothing I need to do. And I'm inviting you may find out what the I is. Let the unfolding of grace continue. Let it do its work. It doesn't need any help from a you or anyone else. But in the meantime, a voice is there that says, well, there's nothing for me to do. There's nothing I can do. But if you leave it there, you retain this presence of I, which could be still a personal sense holding out. You see, it could still be the sense of there's nothing I can do, but you remain as an I, which is personal. So you may ask and look with devoted attention. There's nothing for who to do or not do. Let's try and identify that I, that character, who is behind this utterance. Well, there's nothing I can do. Who is the I who speaks this even? Is it something credible? Is it the fact of you or the fiction of you? Contemplate this, because that is probably one of your final spaces that need to be opened. Don't let it be a blind spot that you look everywhere, but it's on your head and you don't see it. It seems, as you say, this insight took place and it is still present. It's still somehow doing its work. No? Fine, it's good. It is good. But there's nothing for me to do. There's nothing I can do. What can I do? I say, well, find out who you are. Who are you? Because there's still the sense of a self. Then see if you can clarify what that self is, so that there's no remnant of ego being retained, hiding in the sense of I. Otherwise, at some point, this experience becomes another experience that passes again. Because if it is the I's experience, the I, me, the person's experience, it will not endure. At some point, something will come and you'll find that something takes your attention and it seems as though your experience fades. Now you find out who's the I. If there is a tangible I. Because if there is identity, there is a sense of an I entity. Find out what this I entity within you can be. This is called real introspection, real looking. I don't know how many people here are really following what I am speaking. It's okay if you don't really grasp quite the words I'm speaking, then just stay and be open. Don't let your mind just make a judgment and say, okay, fine, there's no point, I don't understand anything. There are many ways into this understanding apart from listening only to the words of what I'm speaking. If your heart is open, then many more roads lead to the same place.
I hear you.
Very good. Very good. Thank you. Ah, thank you. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. One moment. Beloved Mooji, I always thought that watching, being aware, was a somewhat cold practice. Some weeks ago, while watching a live satsang, watching the watcher caught me quite easily, and it felt far from cold. It felt warm and inside the heart, giving me a feeling of courage and bliss. Now my heart seems closed. Is this a mind defense mechanism, and how to deal with this? With love, Johan, Netherlands. Yeah? Do we understand this when it's asking? After having this wonderful experience, this opening, now my heart seems closed. Is this a mental mind defense mechanism? Yes. Yes. Many things will come. Contrasting feelings. Maybe you have an opening occurs and you're feeling wonderfully light, full of love, full of glow. Huh? And then quickly it's followed by some tension is inside, some palpitation comes inside the body, and then quickly the feeling, oh, I've lost it now, and now I'm feeling like this. That is a bit of a premature reaction. Actually, what does it mean? It means right now, if my heart seems closed. Right now, my heart seems closed. What does it mean, actually? It's just a feeling. And it's like a feeling arises, and it's as though these thoughts are auditioning for your attention. Look at me. Look, you feel sad. Look at me. I feel sad. And you go, oh, I feel sad. You buy it. There is a way of experiencing, and we all do it, actually. When you have no interest in a thing, you're in your strongest. When you have no interest in something, there's no need to transcend it. It doesn't even come into the picture at all. If you have no interest in a thing, do you have to overcome it? Not at all. It doesn't even register even. Isn't it? Why do you then have to overcome something? Because it begins to pick up meaning for you. Then it starts to trouble. Maybe I should have done this. How can I get out of this? And you see, in this way, this is the thought factory. You're creating a thought factory. A thought arising internally does not amount to thinking. Thinking begins when there's a feeling of a me, the I thought, the I concept, connect with the thought, and then thinking starts to roll into some story, some meaning is come. Then you can say thinking is going on. Supposing every time a thought arose in your mind, you had to follow it through. You know what you would be like? You'd be like, I've seen people actually like that, where thoughts arise and they buy into it for a while. And after a while you burn out. You don't have to be doing any physical work, nothing else. If you are engaged with thoughts on a regular basis, you will burn out because it will suck all your energy. Now a thought comes, my heart seems cold. There's no feeling, actually, that has this message. That message is a tag that comes from your mind. There's a feeling that arises and your mind says, oh, now your heart is cold. And then you, the consciousness, you purchase this feeling. And now you're going to have to purchase another feeling to get rid of the first purchase. This is how it works. And it's good to know that. So I would advise, Johan, now my heart seems cold. And at least you have not purchased it completely because you ask, is this a mind defense mechanism? And how to deal with this? Well, if you understand it's just a reaction from the mind, because there is a power inside us that is not that seems to work to keep your mind fixated only upon your physical existence. So you'll always be worried about the rent and whether you're going to get married or whether your children are going to do well at school or whether somebody likes you. It will keep your mind in that state of being. And that is surely a recipe for unhappiness. You must identify this power. You can use this power also for your own liberation. Everything depends on you. There's no power in the thing alone by itself. The power is in you and your experience, your wisdom, how you will transform what can seem to be a bad experience into a golden experience. Now my heart seems cold. Is this a mental mind defense mechanism? It's just a thought. My heart seems cold. At one point, these thoughts will not even come near you anymore. They won't get service. But now they come, they get 5-star service. They come, nobody likes you. Oh, nobody likes me. And they get you very easy. They may come to another person and they have no entrance at all. They have nothing, nothing is required of them. So it is just a thought. Forget about it. Others are waiting in queue behind this one. Other thoughts are waiting to have their little time on stage as well. Okay? So you just be an audience to your own mind's play. Take a look for a bit, but don't spend too long in that cinema. After a while you say, look, I've seen all this show before. I don't need to spend money to be here. Forget about it. That would be my advice. I'm going to read one more, give you a chance to come. Dear Mooji, many times in Satsang and YouTube, you have mentioned that we must somehow discern certain aspects. For example, whether something, and in brackets, in my case a certain understanding or seeing, is coming from our true self or constructed self, which is the idea we have of who we are, or the mind. Could you please say something about this? Not looking for discernment 101, but perhaps more pointing. Thank you, most precious Mooji and Satsang team, for this opportunity. Om Shanti, Cheryl in Oregon. Many times you mention you must discern. Discern mean you must clarify and look and be clear about certain things that arises inside your mind. For example, whether something like a certain understanding or a seeing is coming from the true self or is coming from your mind, coming from the identity or something. You must discern the difference like that. What tools do you have to discern whether something is coming from the heart? Many of you may have this question also. How do I know when something is arising from my heart, or whether it's coming from my mind, or whether it's coming from my imagination? How will I know this thing, you see? Well, I am inclined not to want to pick up about these things like here. My number one universal medicine for everything: know yourself. Forget about how to do this, how to do that, how to do this when this problem comes, how to do that, because I cannot give you any fixed answer, because I'll give you one answer, give another one, just ask the same question, different answer. Why? Because I cannot just answer the question, I must answer the questioner sometime, and they are different, coming from different place. So how can I discern whether something is coming from my own seeing, from the true self, or whether it's a constructed self coming from the mind or something like that? Generally speaking, and I have to be general about it, anything to do with speculation is generally coming from your mind. Anything to do with what you should do tomorrow or next week is coming from your mind. Anything to do with how well you're doing and how people take you to be and whether they like you or not is coming from your mind. You see? Most stuff is coming from your mind. I used to say 99% of what is coming from the mind is rubbish. Only that 1% remaining is also rubbish. I'm just joking, but for the most part, we give a lot of importance. What is my thinking like this? And I'm not talking now about practical things. Practical things is one function of the mind. It is fine because it doesn't leave any bad smell. It doesn't leave any footprints in the consciousness. I'm talking here about the psychological mind in relationship to the mind that somehow works in partnership when you take yourself to be a person. That mind I'm talking about. So practical things, we don't have to worry about that because it will not get in the way of your realization of the truth. But the psychological aspect of the mind, how well you're doing, who you think you are, what you want to do in the future, why have I not realized myself? Yeah, all of this is coming from the mind, and it's delusions, basically. What then comes from the heart? The heart is most likely to tell you, so to speak, just keep quiet. Cease expecting anything. Don't project. Don't be so quick to interpret. Keep quiet. Be patient, but don't wait. These things. Generally, they are one sentences or one word. If it goes into two sentences, it's the mind. The heart speaks like a child's language. Keep quiet. Some people write the book about, yes, my heart says I should do this and I should turn left and go there and I will meet this person. And, okay. Does anybody want to come? Please come.
During Zimar, there was in one of the satsangs, a woman was sitting in front of you, and somehow you talked about that we are nobody, and it was very striking. Something recognized that inside, that I'm that I'm nobody.
Mr. Nobody. Mr. Nobody and Miss Nobody are very interesting people.
And it's...
this is a very fearful thing. We speak now, and those who have really, really somehow registered deeply inside the heart the significance of this statement, you will notice that they are very happy. Isn't it? Because many people in society, if you hear people somebody tell you, listen, you're nobody. Who are you? You're nothing. You're nobody. Who are you calling nobody, man? You know who I am, and like this. This is our egoic reaction. No? Maybe only to a sage if you say, you're nobody. You will say, thank you. You're nothing. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Not that they need reminding, but just out of courtesy to you, they will tell you thank you for saying that. They don't need to be reminded. So it's not a superficial thing. Oh, you are nobody. Most people will not understand this because in the language of our culture and our cultural conditioning, nothing encourages you towards emptiness. Nothing at all. Everything is towards becoming something, becoming somebody. And we are trying on new shoes all the time, new masks to see which one works better. We change our masks all the time because none of them really work. And if they really work, sometimes we have the impression that this really works, okay? Then it is a very sad day for you because you're going to be stuck for a while in a very poor self-portrait. No matter if Leonardo da Vinci paints a portrait of you, it doesn't come anywhere near the real you because you are a living being. A self-portrait is a kind of cutout. But in the world, we are faking it. We're faking it, trying to be what you feel others expect you to be. You see? And this does not work. The world wants you to be a sheep. But this shepherd, that shepherd, eats the sheep. If you're going to be a lamb, be the Lamb of God. So when you say, I'm discovering I'm nobody, this is very much a very beautiful discovery when it happens. It's not a thinker's discovery. A thinker's discovery is like, well, you know, no, that's not good enough. There's no profit. There's no gain in being nobody. When you die, he was nobody. Forget about him. Yeah. Maybe we are working so hard to have something nice said on your tombstone. But you are life. We are life, not just your living life. We are life itself, taking various shapes in the play. And at the same time, you are life, and at the same time, you are witnessing life at the same time. Nothing can define you, because on every layer of consciousness, you exist. But this has to become your direct inner experience. Not a belief is not enough belief. It has a role to play. It is a powerful tool. But there is something greater than belief. And that is confirmed experience inside your heart. Sometimes your parents tell you, why are you hanging out with this group of nobodies? But now you found a new meaning for that. What used to be biggest insult turning out to be, well, that's very nice, thank you. The band of nobodies. Appearing to be somebody, this is fine.
I also want to say I'm very grateful. I'm so very grateful to be here.
Yes.
I think every day I'm
Yes.
grateful.
Yes.
And I feel to express that as well.
It comes like that very naturally, in fact. Because when you come into the deeper realization of the truth, you are grateful for life on every level, in fact. Even its physical expression. You're grateful for the senses. You're grateful for the use of the mind also. You're grateful for your discerning faculties. You're grateful for health, for a body. Even if your body is sick, you say, I'm grateful also for this. Sometimes sick body helps you more than healthy body. Healthy body gets you compliments. Sick body develops wisdom and patience. Healthy body, tuck, 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 tuck. People tell you, oh, you're so hot stuff. I love it. Very nice. But that doesn't help you to be free. It helps you to be bound, actually, in a way. But when you're sick, you know, you say, oh my God, you know, it's like, oh, what are we going to do next week? You know, I don't know if it's going to be around, actually. I see that as a blessing. Hmm? Let next week speak for itself. I don't know nothing about next week. I know nothing about tomorrow. I don't know nothing about yesterday. I don't know nothing about today. I don't know nothing, period. And so I'm very happy. This I know. You see? So I don't know who here understand these things. They are experience. They are not just thought. They are not intellectual babble. They are what is being confirmed inside your own heart. No. It says we are 7 billion human beings alive, our contemporaries. We are a group of 7 billion human beings. Amongst this group, how many are really searching in such a profound way for the meaning of what this existence is, who you are? How many are discovering that that which is perfect is already here inside you as your own inmost being, not just outside? How many are discovering that actually there's nothing outside you? But if you believe yourself to be merely a person, you'll feel that you're only as wide as your fingertips goes and as high as the top of your head. And that something like a kind of beingness is stuffed into this body, like you blow air into a balloon. But as you begin to understand much more deeply, you will have the sense, I am in this body, but also this body is inside me. Who grasped this thing? Yes. Who grasped this thing among you? Not only am I in the body itself is in me. Not just this body, but all bodies are in me. Does anybody begin to have this sensation, this feeling? You see? It's not a super-ego feeling. It brings tremendous humility. Sometimes there's more ego in the feeling, I am here alone, this is me, than all of this is me. All of this is me is not a belief. It has to be an experience that opens up from within you. And very often we are surprised, beautifully. Oh my God. What is not me? First you start sometimes, actually nothing is me. In the beginning, nothing at all is what is. Everything is only an image appearing in it. Then finally, all this I am, and beyond also. So I've not brought you here or asked you to come here, to sit here, to be mesmerized, to freak out, to be confused, or just to listen to me tell you something. I would like more to meet that we are exploring into a subject which is, in my mind, the most important subject a human being can be looking at now. And not that you have to leave your life entirely. Continue with your life. But alongside that, start to make some space, a little space only, for plunging inside your own, the ocean of your own being. It seems a little strange sometimes to me that something which is not that here in this moment actually, it is already the flower is opening. It's not okay if you keep on coming here in 6 months. You might get the key to the first room and you have to complete 100 rooms. No, I'm saying from the first moment actually, an openness, if an openness is here, then you may begin to feel that I don't understand what this is, but some movement is arising inside me. It may be initially a nervousness, like a sense of being lost, but something discerns that this is not the old kind of loss. It's not the old kind of confusion. There's something exciting about this confusion. There's something exciting about this strangeness. It's like I'm on the edge of the universe. Sometimes you have to be on the edge of the seat of your life, not always running to hide under the sofa, not always hiding under the bed. Sometimes you have to be willing to step on the cliff of your own existence, and to feel air that you have never breathed before, and not to know one millisecond of what's in front of you, and to be fully present and say, I am here, take me. Otherwise, what is the greatness of this experience? To come here, make a few bucks, find a great job, be famous, marry a good cook, send your children to university. Is that the epitome of the existence of a human being? Before you are a mother or you're a father, you're here as the self to awaken to the truth of yourself. That is your first responsibility. Before you are prime minister of a country, or a doctor in hospital, or a dustman on the road, your primary opportunity is to discover the truth of who you are. You don't have to run away from home, but you can if you need to. You don't have to go and live in the mountain cave, but you can if you feel you have to. You don't have to shave your head and wear sandals, but you can if you want to. You don't have to take any vows, but you can if you want to. But you don't need anything apart from what you have here to discover the truth of who you are. And it can start right now also, if it has not already begun. Very good. Thank you. Very good. Beloved Mooji, great joy and thanks for your presence and for your hearing this in the heart. Satsang in London imparted profound love, silence and peace, but a recent tsunami of rage and fear hit super hard. Sudden sickness came, high fever, pain, total weakness, no meditation at all, submission only. I feel very happy. Finally today, fog clears to reveal a dark fear of the mind may be at its center. Old story, dad's suicide and other attempts by mom and sister, a sticky fear of madness to show I am not done yet. Determined to dissolve all remnants of attention to trickery. I ask for your dear blessing, knowing that today's satsang and all satsangs will bring this, even if the question itself is unread. Hmm? All love, Martina, or perhaps Madtina. Not my words, okay? Mm. So after satsang in London, much love, profound love, she writes like this, silence and peace came. But recently, tsunami of rage hit. And let me want to tell you something about these things. That very often, as our attention introverts, because mostly in life we're looking outwards, we're trying to create relationship with something outside. Outside, outside, outside. We always need to relate with something. And then we are telling the story of what we are relating to outside. And inside remains unexplored. We can spend our whole life like that, actually. Telling the story about what you see, how you feel about what you see, what you want next time, and all of this stuff. But as soon as your attention turns within, a space begins to open up to invite you in. We seem less afraid to go out than to go in. We seem more afraid to go inside than to go outside, so to speak, on the relative plane. As you turn your attention inside, inside there are no stories. Go beyond the stories of you, and the space is opening. A vastness is sensed in you. A joy quietly is sensed inside you. And you are beginning to form a kind of yes. And suddenly, breaks on emergency. All the stuff that we have been picking up in life, absorbing through relationship, through wrong conditioning, negative conditioning, false identity, unhealed hurts, all these begin to come to the surface. And it feels like an attack. I'm under attack. But I want to bring this new insight and fresh understanding to this. Let it come. It is like you are just beginning to detox. When you are beginning to detox, you don't like what you see. You don't feel good. There are bumps coming on your face. And all these things are coming up. And you just think, no, I should just abandon this because no, this is just, I'm feeling terrible. But you need to sit through that because it's the first stage of a kind of healing is taking place. All the junk that's been buried under is coming to the surface. It can come up as a kind of inner noise. It can take different forms. You are to anticipate this. It does not mean you're failed, you're no good. It means that somehow you stand a chance of coming back into the center of your own being. Again, satsangs in London imparted profound love, silence and peace. As love, silence and peace, perhaps you have not felt these three together. Some people don't feel one of them. Love, peace, silence come together, you understand? Then something's going to go, you have to pay for that. Something come like this. Then, recent tsunami of rage and fear hit super hard. Sudden sickness come, high fever, pain, total. All these symptoms, high fever, pain, total weakness. No meditation at all. Submission only. When I heard submission only, I said, very good, bingo. What it means. That these are the normal reactions that happen when people are inside your own satsang now. You're stepping through the door of your own self. You're entering into your own holiness. Then this reaction comes like this. It does not come as a sign of failure. It's a sign that something is being purged out. All that has been holding you back. Some people, if you go through life and you've never really felt love, okay, then in a way you want love, but you are afraid of love. You want love, but you're afraid of love. So in the beginning you fight. Something's fight. But when love is felt, then naturally a surrendering begins to happen. This is a very natural thing happen. A surrendering begins to happen along with the fighting, and a powerful duality is stirring within you. This is what this one is writing about. Now sudden sickness come, eye fever, pain, total weakness, no meditation at all. No, this is not time for therapy. People now want to go to therapy. Do you know a good psychotherapist? No. Okay? Keep quiet. Okay? Now, no, not even meditation, self-inquiry, who is feeling, everything, nothing is working. You're in the emergency room. Okay? So the doctor won't even ask you to hold the mask over your face. No, you are completely surrendered. And grace is here. Finally, today, the fog clears to reveal a dark fear in the mind may be at its center. So the fog is clearing means some recognition is taking place that maybe at the center of all of this, there is a fear of the mind, not the fear of the mind may be at the center. The old story now, it starts to come up, my father's suicide, my father committed suicide. So this begins to come in, you see. If your father commits suicide, well, maybe you're next to commit suicide, probably. Yeah. Like father, like son, maybe. Okay. Now, father commits suicide, and another attempt by mom and sister. And other attempts by mom and sis, a sticky fear of madness to show I am not done yet. So all these are coming up, and the mind is interpreted. You see, these things are coming up. So you're not free yet, like that. Now that has no power by itself unless it is believed. A thought without belief has no power. A thought with belief and identity can start a war. Power of belief. The principle you call a sage or a liberated being or Buddha or something, such thoughts can happen also. They will not be routine, because somehow the presence has become so merged in the heart that there's not really any space for these type of low-level thoughts to come anymore. They're just not entertained. So the inner climate changes, you see. However, one never says never, you see. Unexpectedly, an ambush thought come. And maybe for a moment or two, there's a sense, of being destabilized. But because there is no personal entity to pick up and to get stuck, it cannot stay, you see. It vanishes like the cloud changing, vanishing again into the blue. So this is the advice. So determined to dissolve all remnants of attention to trickery. Determined to dissolve all remnants of attention to trickery, I ask for your dear blessing, knowing that today's satsang and all satsangs will bring this, even if the question itself is unread. And now we read it. All love, Martina. Not Martina. Huh? Please come. Brazil? Yeah, we have you. You will can just come. Oh,
Tinha coisas que eu já sabia
There were some things that I already knew,
e depois
and after
que eu vi o primeiro vídeo
I saw the first video,
e depois e toda vez que comecei a vê-lo
and every time I watch it,
foi muito intenso
it was very intense,
So,
e continua sendo.
and it still is.
Então essa é a segunda vez que eu venho cá.
This is the second time I come here.
Eu não sei porque eu vim, mas eu sei.
I don't know why I came, but I know why.
E foi depois que eu comecei a assistir os vídeos e depois da primeira vez que eu tive aqui,
And it was after I started watching these videos and after I came here,
eu comecei a trazer as informações, essas coisas para minha vida, para dentro.
that I started to bring all this information to my life, inside me.
E senti muita alegria com isso, foi muito intenso e é muita alegria para mim.
And it was very intense, but there was a lot of happiness, a lot of joy for me.
Porque eu não vou morrer nunca, eu sei que eu não vou morrer,
Oh, I'm not gonna die ever. I know I'm not gonna die.
que eu não sou isso aqui,
I am not this.
que eu não sou esse corpo,
I'm not this body.
que é um personagem.
This is all a play. It's all a character.
Antes eu sabia, mas agora ficou mais forte isso.
Before I knew this, but now it's more stronger, this knowing.
Isso dá uma alegria tremenda.
And this gives me a lot of joy.
Mas tem um outro lado.
But there's another side.
O que está acontecendo
What's happening?
é que a minha família tá achando que eu tô estranho, tô esquisito.
It's my family is thinking I'm very strange.
my family
My
is
family
what?
is thinking that I'm very strange.
Yes, yes, yes.
Pronto, eu não sei, e às vezes eu não sei o que dizer.
And sometimes I
Pra
don't know
eles.
what to say to them.
Yes, yes.
E tem uns que não falam comigo.
And some of them are not speaking to me.
What do they see that what are they worried about? Because you must be happier, no?
Qual que é o medo deles? O que eles estão vendo? Porque você deve estar mais alegre, né?
Sim, sim.
Yes.
Eu penso, acho, não tenho certeza absoluta, mas acho que
I think I'm not fully sure, but I think that
eu não estou falando ou projetando coisas ou querendo coisas como eles querem.
I'm not talking, I'm not thinking, I'm not projecting things the way they want, the way they want.
Yes. They cannot somehow hold on to their projection of you.
Eles não podem segurar essa projeção que eles fazem de você mesmo.
Because somehow as you begin to expand in consciousness,
Porque à medida que você começa a expandir na
you're
consciência,
not predictable.
você não vai ser previsível.
And this is why I ask, you are much happier, no?
Por isso que eu perguntei, você está muito mais feliz, não está?
Many times we are much happier,
Muitas vezes nós ficamos muito mais felizes,
much lighter,
muito mais leves,
more open,
mais abertos.
but they're worried for you.
Mas eles estão preocupados por você,
They are not
com
open.
você. Eles não estão abertos.
They are exhausted.
Eles estão cansados.
Their minds are giving them trouble.
A mente deles tá causando um problema para
Your
eles.
mind is not giving you trouble.
Sua mente não está te trazendo nenhum problema.
You're feeling much lighter,
Você está se sentindo mais leve,
more bright.
mais iluminado, mais
And they are worried for you. You see.
e eles estão preocupados com você.
Why?
Por quê?
Because you're moving out of the range of their projection.
Porque você está se movendo para fora do círculo de projeções que eles fazem.
They never knew you before.
Eles não te conheciam antes.
They only have an idea that they knew you.
Eles só tinham uma ideia de que te conheciam.
And now they know they don't know you.
E agora eles estão tendo certeza, eles estão sabendo que eles não te conhecem.
Então, outra pergunta.
And then the next question.
E tudo isso, que essas descobertas, essas coisas que está aqui, assim, que está movendo.
So all this, with all this discovery, all of this that is moving inside here.
Que tem essas emoções, esses pensamentos.
There is these emotions, these thoughts.
Essas projeções de futuro, coisas do passado.
These projections of future, these things from the past.
Que vem à tona a todo momento.
And it comes up, it flowers up all the time.
E aí,
and then,
como você disse,
as you mentioned,
quem é que está olhando esses pensamentos, essas emoções, esses sentimentos, esse passado, esse futuro?
Who is observing all this emotion, these thoughts, this future, this past?
Aí, quando eu comecei eu não sei como dizer em palavras isso.
And then when I start to, I don't know how to describe this in words.
Surgiu uma confusão, e com isso eu estou confuso, muito confuso, porque eu não sei o que eu faço.
So when I was looking like this, it came up confusion, and I don't know what to do.
Yes. Okay. Okay. You know that the reactions that are happening inside you and the feelings, they are somehow, there are movement in you and they are watched inside you.
Você sabe que as reações que estão acontecendo dentro de vocês,
they are watched, they are observed
eles são
inside you.
observados dentro de você.
Then the question comes, what observes all of these things?
E aí essa pergunta vem, o que observa todas essas coisas?
But it's not enough to accept any mental answers.
Mas não é o bastante aceitar qualquer resposta mental.
You have to actually find out.
Você tem que achá-las por você mesmo.
What is observing all? The truth is, the fact is that they are observed.
O que você está observando agora? A verdade é que elas são observadas.
So they are something that come and go.
Então existe algo que vem e vai, vem e passa.
They cannot be you.
E não pode ser você.
Because they come and go.
Porque elas vêm e passam.
If you were the same thing as them,
se você fosse a mesma coisa do que elas,
then when they go, you will also go.
Então quando elas passassem, você também passaria.
But you remain to observe their passing.
Mas você permanece para observar que elas estão passando.
I may refer to that as the intelligence of the beingness.
E eu refiro a isso como a inteligência do ser puro.
Observe these things.
Observando todas essas coisas.
You may find out now, if everything that is observable,
e você tem que descobrir isso agora. Se tudo que pode ser observado
is observed to come and go,
é observado que ele vem e vai e passa,
can that which observes them,
pode esse que está observando essas coisas,
can that be observed?
Pode esse ser também observado?
Then you must try and see.
E você tem que tentar olhar e ver.
Don't be in a hurry.
Mas não tenha pressa.
Yes. Usually the attention is going out to the things that come and go.
Normalmente a atenção está indo para fora, para as coisas que vêm e vão.
But then we say, okay, that is, as long as you keep looking,
e aí nós falamos, enquanto você ainda estiver olhando para fora,
they will keep appearing.
Eles vão continuar aparecendo as coisas.
So now we take your attention away from what is appearing.
E aí você tira então a atenção das coisas que estão aparecendo.
And turn it around to see what is watching that appearance.
E volta essa atenção para observar quem é que está observando tudo isso que aparece.
Yes. Don't just think and feel.
Não simplesmente pense e sinta.
Yes. And you're not going to come just with a mental answer.
E você não vai sair somente com uma resposta mental.
It's going to be a revelation.
Será uma revelação.
It's going to be an insight.
Será um insight.
You can start now also
E
to.
você pode começar agora mesmo.
Because all that you speak about
Porque tudo que você fala
arises from memory.
surge de uma memória.
You are the witness of memory.
E você é a testemunha da memória. Você
It's true or
observa a
not?
memória. É verdade ou não é?
Yes, yes, yes. And of emotion,
E das emoções,
of personality.
da personalidade.
Witnessing of personality takes place in you.
O observar dessa personalidade é feito dentro de você, por você, de você.
You are the witness of time
Você é a testemunha do tempo,
and of change.
das mudanças.
You are the witness of actions,
Você é a testemunha de ações,
reactions,
reações,
interactions.
interações.
Witnessing of them happen to you.
E o observar disso acontece a partir de você.
You are the witness of thought.
Você é o observador dos pensamentos.
You are the witness of religion.
Você é a testemunha de religiões.
Everything is what you see.
Tudo vem de você. Tudo é aquilo que você vê.
You can write about them,
Você pode escrever sobre elas,
but that which is perceiving them,
mas aquele que os está percebendo,
can that be perceived?
poderia esse ser percebido?
You must do it.
E você tem que fazer isso. Essa indagação.
Then you can start now. You can start, just close your eyes and look.
E
See?
você pode começar agora. Só feche os seus olhos e observe.
Can the seer be seen?
Pode aquele que vê ser visto?
And there's no need for imagination.
E não é necessidade de nenhuma imaginação.
You see, it is not an easy question,
Tá vendo? Não é uma pergunta fácil,
because nowhere in the world you will be asked this question.
porque em nenhum lugar do mundo essa pergunta vai ser perguntada a você.
But this question
Mas essa pergunta
will unlock the door of all the mysteries for you.
vai abrir a porta, vai destrancar a porta de todos os mistérios, o cadeado de todos os mistérios para você.
Can the seer be seen?
Pode aquele que vê ser visto?
Ultimately, are you material or immaterial?
E ultimately,
Finally,
e finalmente what was?
are you material or immaterial?
Você é material ou imaterial?
That which sees everything else.
Este que vê todo o resto,
That which experiences everything.
este que experimenta todo o resto,
Which perceives everything.
este que percebe tudo,
Which observes everything.
este que observa a tudo,
Outside and inside.
tudo que está fora ou dentro.
What is that?
O que é isso?
You are that, but what is that?
Você é isto, mas o que é isto?
What are you?
O que é você?
Are you this body?
Você é esse corpo?
This body is also observed.
Esse corpo também pode ser observado.
Are you the mind, the thinking mind?
Você é a mente pensante?
The thinking mind is also observed.
Essa mente pensante também pode ser observada.
Are you the emotions?
Você é as emoções?
Emotions are also observed.
As emoções também podem ser observadas.
Are you the sensations?
São as sensações?
Sensations are also observed.
Sensações também podem ser observadas.
Are you identity?
Você é a identidade?
Identity is also known.
A identidade também é conhecida.
What observes all these?
E o que observa tudo isso?
Is it itself an observable object or phenomenon?
Seria isso também um objeto que pode ser observado ou um fenômeno?
É isso que eu tenho que buscar?
Is that what I have to search?
That's what you have to find out.
É isso que você tem que descobrir.
It is the answer to all your questions.
É a resposta para todas as suas perguntas.
That discovery is greater than any scripture.
Essa descoberta é maior do que qualquer escritura.
You have to experience it.
E você tem que experienciá-la.
É possível.
It's possible.
Yes. And it is here now also.
E está presente aqui agora.
Because it is timeless.
Porque ela é atemporal.
It does not have a beginning or an end.
Ela não tem um começo ou um fim.
If everything that is knowable
Se tudo que é conhecido
is observed,
pode ser observado,
what observes them?
o que observa isso?
Can that be known?
Pode isso que observa ser conhecido?
And by whom?
E por quem pode ser conhecido?
But find out now.
Mas você tem que descobrir isso agora.
Okay, I'll help you.
Eu posso te ajudar.
If you can find out now,
Se você pode descobrir agora,
are you open to this?
você está aberto para isso? Para essa...
Eu não sei.
I don't know.
If you can discover this today,
Se você pudesse descobrir isso que eu falei agora,
I will
hoje,
do everything I can to help you to see this.
eu vou fazer tudo o que eu posso para poder te ajudar a descobrir isso.
Are you saying yes to this now?
Você fala sim para isso agora?
Sim.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then you don't touch any thought that arises inside.
Então-
Don't follow anything.
Então você não toca, você não segue nenhum pensamento que surgir aí dentro.
Anything from the past
Qualquer coisa relacionada ao passado
has no reality.
não tem nenhuma realidade.
Then leave it. Don't touch it now.
Então deixe para lá, nem toque ele agora.
Anything that belongs to future,
Tudo que pertenceu ao futuro,
from the next moment onwards,
do próximo momento para frente,
leave it.
deixa para lá.
It is not your business.
Não é da sua conta.
Yes. And only what is here now
E somente o que está aqui agora
is happening by itself.
está acontecendo por si só.
So, leave it.
Então deixe.
Don't hold on to any idea you have.
Não se prenda a nenhuma ideia que você possa ter.
Don't hold on to any desire, even to be free.
Não se prenda a nenhum desejo que você possa ter.
Have you done it? Can you do it?
Você já fez isso? Você consegue fazer isso?
Consigo?
Yes, I can.
No.
Uh,
You can is something. Have you?
Você está fazendo isso?
Sim. Estou.
Yes, I am.
Yes. Then, is there anything you can say about I am? There's no past in this I am now. There's no future in this I am now. There's
Então-
not even present in this I am now. Tell him.
Então tem alguma coisa sobre este eu sou, sendo que esse eu sou não tem nenhum futuro, não tem nenhum passado neste eu sou. Tem alguma coisa que você pode falar deste eu sou agora?
There's no identity.
Não existe a identidade.
Because these things you can see.
Porque todas essas coisas você pode ver.
Don't embrace them.
E aí, então você não abraça elas.
Let them come and go.
Deixa elas surgirem e passarem.
And you remain as what is effortless.
E você permanece como aquilo que é completamente sem esforço.
I am that.
Eu sou isto.
So now you tell me,
E agora você me diga,
who are you?
quem é você?
No memory, don't hold on to memory.
Não se prenda a nenhuma memória.
You don't have to get rid of it,
Você não tem que se livrar das memórias,
but leave it aside.
mas deixa elas de lado.
Go beyond memory.
Vá além das memórias.
Go beyond any ideology, any philosophy. Leave
Vai
them.
além de qualquer ideologia ou filosofia,
Any
deixa elas de
idea.
lado. Qualquer ideia, deixa elas de lado.
Any kind of identity.
Qualquer forma de identidade.
Anything that is belonging to time.
Qualquer coisa que pertença ao tempo.
There is something that does not belong to time.
Tem algo que não pertence ao tempo,
That watches time also.
que observa o tempo.
Are you that one?
Você seria este?
Há tempo.
Yes, yes. Yes.
Actions and reactions and interactions are not mine. They are simply arising by themselves.
As ações, as reações, as interações, elas não são minhas, elas estão só acontecendo por si só.
Even though, because of habit and culture, something says, yes, I do, and I don't do.
E mesmo que alguma coisa, talvez devido à cultura, diga eu sou isso, ou eu faço isso,
But when it's looked into,
mas quando é olhado,
it is not a truth.
é percebido que não é uma verdade.
The life is unfolding spontaneously.
A vida está se desabrochando espontaneamente.
Can you confirm?
Você pode confirmar isso?
You have the sense that you are doing something,
Você tem alguma sensação de que você está fazendo algo,
but you have the insight on the understanding that you are doing nothing actually.
mas você tem um insight e a compreensão de que você, na verdade, não está fazendo nada.
Sim, já que me aconteceu.
Sim, that's what happened to me.
Yes.
E eu não sei dizer como que é.
I cannot say how
Yeah.
it
No,
happened.
how you don't need. How is for somebody else.
Não, você não precisa saber como.
Let your parents,
como-
let your family ask how.
O como são para outras pessoas. Deixa que a sua família pergunte como.
You don't know nothing about how.
Você não sabe nada sobre esse como.
You've gone beyond the idea of being a man or a woman or Brazil. These are belonging to the body.
Você foi além dessa ideia de ser um homem, ser uma mulher, o Brasil. Isso são ideias que pertencem ao corpo.
And that's okay also.
Isso também tá bom, não faz mal.
But that's not a definition of what you are.
Mas isso não é a definição do que você realmente é.
Because something is aware of all these.
Porque algo está consciente de tudo isso.
So come more inside. Come more inside.
Então venha mais para dentro, venha mais para dentro.
Don't combine yourself with any idea.
Não misture você com nenhuma outra ideia.
Yes. Where have you reached now?
Até aonde você chegou agora? Até onde você chegou agora?
Eu não saí daqui.
Eu não?
Eu acho que tô sempre aqui.
I never left here. I feel I've been always here.
Very good. I also have never left here.
Eu também nunca saí daqui.
Boa.
Very good. Very good.
We dream we live here.
Nós sonhamos que a gente saiu daqui.
We imagine, we dream we are separate from this.
A gente imagina, a gente sonhou que a gente é separado disso.
And let the dream continue.
E deixe que o sonho continue, deixe que...
But be awake.
Mas você fique acordado.
In the deep sleep,
Durante o sono profundo,
nobody's doing anything at all.
ninguém está fazendo nada.
Nobody's there.
Não há ninguém ali.
There's no religion.
Não existe religião,
There's no parents.
não existe pais,
There's no children.
não existe filhos,
There's no career.
não existe uma carreira,
There's no identity.
não tem uma identidade.
And you're beautifully happy.
E você está super feliz.
Super feliz. Now in the waking state,
E agora no estado acordado,
all these things are there playing.
todas essas coisas estão brincando aí na sua frente.
It all belongs to the waking state.
Tudo pertence a esse estado desperto.
You are perceiving the waking state.
E você está percebendo esse estado desperto.
In the waking state, you're also appearing in the waking state
E nesse estado desperto, você também aparece
as this,
assim, como isso.
as individuality,
Como uma individualidade,
playing its role
fazendo o seu papel
in the great play.
no teatro maior, no jogo maior.
And at the same time, there is an awareness of all this play.
E ao mesmo tempo tem uma consciência de todo esse jogo.
But the awareness is not doing anything.
Mas essa consciência não está fazendo nada.
It is looking through these eyes.
Está só olhando através desses olhos.
It is feeling through this body.
Está sentindo através desse corpo.
And it is always happy.
E está sempre feliz.
Demorou tanto tempo, parece.
It took so long time. It feels like it took so long.
Yes, yes. No time actually.
Nenhum tempo nenhum.
Looking from this, looking from here.
Olhando deste ponto, não foi tempo nenhum.
Não.
Long time, short time, eternal time is same.
Olhando desse ponto, muito tempo, pouco tempo, sem tempo nenhum, é a mesma coisa.
And at the same time you can say, yes, it took a long time,
E ao mesmo tempo você pode dizer, demorou tanto tempo.
but it doesn't matter.
Mas não faz diferença nenhuma.
Because this itself
Porque isso em si
does not belong to time.
não pertence ao tempo.
It is not the waking state.
Não é o estado acordado,
It's not the dreaming state.
não é o estado de sonho,
It's not the deep sleep state.
não é o estado de sono profundo.
It witnesses all of them.
Ele testemunha todos os estados.
Então toda vez que nós dissemos algo que,
So every time we say something
com relação às coisas temporais,
related to the time, the temporal things,
eu tenho que perceber isso que me faz a confusão, é o que eu tenho que saber e relacionar com tudo isso e saber que isso não
that's what gives me the confusion, because I have to know how to relate it to all this and know that this is not.
No, you don't.
Não, na verdade não.
You think you have to know.
Você acha que você deve saber.
You think You think you have to know.
Você acha que você
That's
deve
also
saber.
part of our conditioning.
Isso também faz parte do condicionamento, do nosso condicionamento.
This is why it creates confusion.
E por isso que cria confusão.
Yes. Don't know life.
Não saiba a
Be
vida.
life.
Seja a vida.
It's an idea we have to know life.
É uma ideia, é só uma ideia essa ideia de que temos que saber o que é a vida.
Do you know how to walk?
Você sabe como andar?
Não precisa.
I don't need. he
No.
said.
It simply happened, no?
Simplesmente acontece, né?
Your life is simply happening.
E a sua vida está simplesmente acontecendo.
You be empty.
E você fique vazio.
When something needs to happen,
Quando algo tem que acontecer,
it will happen spontaneously.
vai acontecer espontaneamente.
Yes. Life is spontaneity, actually.
Vida é essa espontaneidade.
Look at the trees around you.
Olha as árvores em volta de você.
Can you imagine this tree is thinking tomorrow, maybe I'll make another leaf.
Você
maybe
pode pensar que
this way.
essa árvore essa árvore aí na sua frente está falando, acho que amanhã eu vou soltar uma folhinha desse lado.
It simply unfolds.
Ela simplesmente desabrocha.
Perfect in its own time.
Perfeito no seu próprio tempo.
The more you prepare,
Quanto mais você prepara,
the more you're out of synchronicity
mais você está fora da sincronicidade.
with the cosmic harmony.
Da sincronicidade com a harmonia cósmica.
But even then,
Mas mesmo assim,
you cannot be out of synchronicity with
Você
the
não-
cosmic harmony.
você não pode estar fora da sincronicidade
Because
cósmica.
it is so great
Porque ela é tão grande
that even non-synchronicity
que até a não sincronicidade
is inside the great synchronicity.
está dentro da grande sincronicidade.
If you understand this,
Se você entende isso,
something relaxes.
algo relaxa.
Yes. You stop managing existence
Você para de comandar ou tentar governar a existência.
and relax into your natural being.
E você relaxa dentro do seu ser natural.
Every mistake has its place also.
Cada erro tem o seu lugar também.
It's part of the great dance.
É parte da dança maior.
So don't take it too seriously.
Então não leve tão a sério.
The more empty you are,
O mais vazio que você se mantém,
the more naturalness there is.
a maior naturalidade tem.
In the
Existe.
beginning, you will trust this,
No começo você crê nisso,
but gradually you come to see the truth of it.
mas depois de um tempo você começa a ver a verdade que isso tem.
Yes. It's always in a kind of harmony.
Isso está sempre numa forma de harmonia.
The one thing that doesn't seem to be in harmony in this planet
A única coisa, uma das coisas que parece não estar em harmonia nesse planeta
is the personal mind,
é a mente pessoal,
the concept of the personal
o
mind.
conceito da mente pessoal.
It seems to work for itself.
Parece que está trabalhando por si mesmo
Yes. It seems to be selfish.
e parece ser egoísta.
But the great consciousness makes use even of that selfishness.
Mas a consciência maior faz você até consciente desse egoísmo. Make you conscious of this.
It makes use. It makes use of this.
E a
of this.
consciência maior ainda faz um bom uso desse egoísmo.
Because consciousness never wastes any part of its expression.
Porque a consciência pura, ela não desperdiça nenhuma parte da sua consciência.
It's part of the great texture, the part of the great play.
Tudo faz parte dessa grande textura, desse grande jogo.
And it is inscrutable.
E é
Inscrutable?
inescrutável.
Inescrutable. It cannot be explained.
Não pode ser explicado.
Então, eu acho que eu percebi tudo, sim.
So I think I understood everything.
Então,
So
quando eu creio nessa verdade,
when I believe in this truth,
More than belief.
é mais do que crer.
You are one with it, actually.
Você é um com ela mesma.
There's no place for two.
Não há lugar para dois.
Ok. Eu estou tentando dizer alguma coisa em palavra para eu perceber isso. Não sei. Não...
I'm just trying to say something in words to see if I really got it. I don't know.
Para eu poder... Vamos, eu sei. Pronto, eu tenho que relaxar para isso. Né?
Well, I have to relax for this, no?
Actually, there's no condition for it.
Na verdade, não existe nenhuma condição para isso.
Whether the body is relaxed or the mind is not relaxed or something makes no difference to
Se o
this.
corpo estiver relaxado, se a mente não estiver relaxada, não faz diferença nenhuma para isso.
That is just a thought. No?
Isso é só um pensamento. Mais uma ideia.
Ótimo.
Great!
Yes, because the mind is like the wind.
Porque a mente é como o vento.
The self is like space,
O ser puro é como o espaço.
the pure self.
O ser puro.
The nature of the wind is to move about.
A natureza do vento é se mover por aí.
But space does not move about
Mas o espaço não se move por aí.
because it is infinite.
Porque o espaço é infinito.
So space cannot benefit by the movement of the wind.
Então o espaço não é beneficiado pelo movimento do vento.
It cannot be affected.
Ele não pode ser afetado pelo movimento do vento.
The space does not say, I hope the wind doesn't blow today,
O espaço não precisa dizer, eu espero que o vento não sopre hoje.
so my space can be pure.
Para que o meu espaço fique puro.
It doesn't matter even if there's a tsunami.
E não interessa, mesmo que tenha um tsunami,
Space remains untouched.
o espaço permanece intocável.
And it's not a person, it doesn't decide I'm not going to be affected.
E não é uma pessoa, não é uma decisão consciente, eu não vou me sentir afetado.
It simply is like that.
Simplesmente é assim.
It's not a decision,
Não é uma decisão.
it is not a
Não
determination.
tem que escolher nada.
Não é uma determinação. I don't have to choose anything.
No.
Não.
Only superficially,
Talvez superficialmente,
in the play of consciousness,
nesse jogo da consciência,
which is the play of duality.
que é esse jogo de dualidades,
You appear to have favorites,
você aparenta ter uns favoritos
to choose and not to choose,
para escolher e não escolher,
but that's just your role in
Mas-
consciousness.
mas esse é só o seu papel na consciência.
But in your truth,
Mas na sua verdade,
as a pure awareness,
como a consciência pura,
nothing happens.
nada está acontecendo.
So you're both in a way,
Então, você é ambos, de alguma forma você é ambos,
but most profoundly,
Mas
you are the unchanging.
mas mais profundamente, no mais íntimo, você é aquele que não muda.
Relatively, you appear as the changeful,
Relativamente, você aparenta como aquele que
but it's
muda,
only an appearance
mas é apenas uma aparência,
within the unchanging.
que acontece dentro daquilo que não muda.
And the confirmation is immediate, in fact,
E essa confirmação ela é imediata, na verdade,
because it does not belong to a realm of time.
porque ela não pertence a um mundo temporal, de tempo.
You have to digest a little bit.
Você tem que digerir isso um pouco.
And even that is automatic also.
E até isso é automático.
É automático.
See, it's
It's automatic.
automatic. See.
Não precisa esforço.
So there is no effort.
Now you say, not me. No, I have spoken enough.
E agora você então diz a ele. Não é mais uma pergunta. Você afirma a ele.
Não há mais esforço. Não preciso me esforçar para isso.
I don't need to make any
Não
effort
preciso
for
me
this.
esforçar para isso.
I don't need to make any effort for that.
Let that not be a question, but a statement from you.
Então deixe que isso não seja uma pergunta, mas uma afirmação para você.
Ok.
Huh? That's it.
Okay.
Ja. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Isso eu sei falar.
Yeah,
Algumas coisas.
multiple. This much I can speak. It's,
Mas só uma coisa que eu queria.
Just one thing I wanted to say.
speak in this microphone.
Isso é breve. É só uma.
It's very short.
Eu sei que isso não é uma convenção, é o que eu vou falar, mas para mim eu acho que faz uma diferença internamente isso, uma coisa.
I just want to say something.
Eu sei que o que eu vou falar é uma convenção, ele pode, não tem muito, não interfere, mas eu acho
I know what I was going to say. It makes no difference, but I just wanted to say.
é que para mim particularmente
For me, privately,
eu
yes, I would like
eu
to.
gosto de chamá-lo de Mooji, mas também de mestre, porque para mim,
I like to call you Mooji, but I like to call you Master as well.
apesar que ele disse que o mestre está dentro da gente e está em todos os lugares.
Even you said that the Master is inside ourselves and it's everywhere.
This is true. Also,
Isso é verdade também.
it is good. All is good.
Tudo tá bom.
É isso.
That's all.
Yeah. Thank you. One second. Hi.
There was a question.
What's happened to your question?
Maybe I can share something. Many times I wake up and there is nothing. I don't know who I am, or there's nothing. And suddenly everything is coming and I feel like, oh no, 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 no. And then I feel like stuck in my mind again.
That's not so uncommon thing that happen. Many times, like say in the middle of the night, some people they go to the bathroom once or twice. Myself, I'm like that. But people, you may go to the bathroom for a wee or something, and so some consciousness is there. You get up to go to the bathroom, no? But to go for a pee, you don't need identity. This is it. So consciousness is there, but it does not need I'm a woman, I must do this, and you don't need lot of information for that. So the consciousness is present only enough to function and to have a pee and to wipe your seat and do all that stuff. And there's no identity. There's not any identity like that. The world is not there. And you go back to bed. You don't have to remember that because it's not significant for you. And also many people, when they wake up in the morning, it's not different from that. They wake up and there's no world. It's not started. Yourself, you say, sometimes I wake up, I don't know, where I am, or, this, many people have it. They don't know. Also, sometimes we are traveling a lot. I wake up, I don't know what country I'm in. I don't know what, it's just like this. But it doesn't matter. Something doesn't panic with that. It's somehow, this is also okay. I don't have to know where I am. I know I am. Where I am exactly does not matter. That's secondary. Then gradually that may come in to focus at some point. So, the waking state arises for you, and then the first thing that comes in that is the feeling of I. The feeling of I must come before you can come. You see, before I perceive you, there must already arise I. There cannot be I because there's no you without I. Do you understand what I'm speaking or not? Unless the feeling of I, of your own self arises, I, you cannot perceive the other as you. Because the you is only relative to the I. If there is no I, there is no you. So the first that comes is I. After I come, then you come. Then time comes. Then world comes. And all of this dance of this theater of consciousness is alive and playing. By itself it's happening. You don't have to go and turn on the lights of the world. They come on. The senses are functioning. The mind is awake. The sense of I is present. And all of that is happening and reporting to the presence that you are. Something is there that is not that. It's not the moving parts. It's not the story. It's not the senses. It's not the world. It's not the you. It's not even the I even. It's not even the I even. Now you may say, I can see the world, I can see family, I can see this. Why? Because consciousness is present. Because of the light of consciousness, these things can be seen. Then even you can be seen. So if you can be seen, then the I also can be seen. Because the I and the you are both objects in something, in a greater awareness. But because the I, the first concept to arise, is the most intimate concept, somehow consciousness identifies itself as the I which is personal. And here comes the confusion. That's all. At the end of your spiritual discipline, if you are successful in your search, you will come to realize that I means consciousness. That one which we regard as a sage is that one that is able to observe even I. They know that even consciousness is observed. Also when consciousness is departing, like the close of the day, and the consciousness is slowing down, and then something, the body starts to respond, and it's going into a state, that also is observed. So, very subtle. When the show is finished for the day, curtains close, deep sleep, lights out. Not even I is there. Not even I. There's no husband, no wife, no children, no world, no religion, no God, no demon is there. Nothing is there. And yet, you'll buy the best bed. You'll spend good money to buy the best bed, to go to a place where there's no experience. And you enjoy sleep or not? Do we enjoy deep sleep or not? Or do you buy a bed only to dream? I buy the bed because at least if I dream I have some entertainment. I'm getting good value for my money from the bed. But in deep sleep, you may go to deep sleep as a queen, four-poster bed in a 100-room palace, and some guy is drunk and fall asleep on the floor, and you both have the same sleep. Okay? You're not rich, you're not a queen in your sleep, and he's not a beggar in his sleep. Beyond all these categories, you are there. You enjoy deep sleep or not? Some people have a sense that they don't. I don't know anything about it because nothing was there. But did you sleep well? Well, how do you know? Well, because I feel better in the morning, and I can look at my bed, see the bed doesn't look too rough, so my night must have been okay. Is deep sleep only an assumption, or is it experience as well? Something is there that enjoys deep sleep. Mostly if people go into night and people tell you, oh, sweet dreams. It's not a good thing to say, actually. You should wish your friends dead sleep, not sweet dreams. Sweet dreams mean your mind is still active. Your mind is still on duty. Huh? You cannot even rest, even in bed. You must have deep dead sleep. It means lights out. When lights out, something is there that's not out. It's not out and it's not in. It cannot be known phenomenally, and yet it can be known. That which is there in deep sleep is here right now also. It's watching your feelings happen. It's feeling your tears, your emotions. It's having the sense of sitting, of talking, of listening. All of this is just happening in front of it. But it is not happening. Everything else seems to be a happening or a non-happening, but it is not a happening. It simply is. That you are. And when you know that, you can be in this. Hi, oh yeah, because that also is not registering, that is me. It is me, it's not me. Then you have the feeling, walking but not walking, talking but not talking, eating but not eating. What are you eating? I'm eating some bread and cheese. Is that what you're eating? Actually, eating, not eating. Something not eating. Living, not living. Playing, not playing. Both seem to be there. Both seems to be true. Sometimes matter, sometimes don't matter. Never mind. This is bringing back your mystery. For a while we try to explain ourselves, explain this existence, and we end up making things up and becoming very dry, full of words and concepts, but little heart, little depth, little wisdom. So don't explain yourself, just be. When you are just be, then life will come and kiss you. It will show you things you will never find through books. A flower will open within your heart that you will never find in this planet. A joy will arise within you that cannot fade. A peace that never fades out. And an intuitive knowing, I am timeless. all this is available through this, through the play of consciousness, through this. Because in the human form, consciousness displays a very high power to contemplate itself. That is the gift of a human body. But who receives this gift? It says a human birth is an auspicious birth. A human form is an auspicious gift. Who receives it? So you don't have to know. Just allow some space for the mystery to unfold. Say yes. Don't be arrogant. Don't say, yeah, I have to know. You cannot purchase wisdom. You can purchase knowledge, but not wisdom. You can purchase pleasure, but not joy. You can purchase a little time, maybe, but not timelessness. These you have to discover. You cannot control. And you'll discover you're integrated, you're integral as this already. This is the discovery. Satsang is the perfect supportive environment for those who are waiting to give birth to themselves. It's a strange thing to say. Giving birth to yourself.
There's always this duality within me. When you talk about the right moment, it's right now. There's this kind of enthusiasm here, like I feel like, yeah, it's right now. And at the same time, there's this thing that says, no, another time, I come later.
Yes.
And
that thing has always been telling you later, and so you made it to another life. And another life. And if you believe so much in later, another womb is being prepared for your next birth also. Why not? Consciousness loses nothing, actually, in this play. It doesn't know the human pains in the same way, and yet it does. We imagine somehow in our human mind, the human consciousness, so much. We can be so intense mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. There's always a duality playing. But that duality can be cleaned up. It can become an expression of a unity. The duality does not always have to be a conflict. It can just be a contrast. When you know who you are. But when it says like this, yeah, but you don't have to know now, you don't find out now. This is why I say, but you can know now. But my now is not the kind of, now. It's a kind of timeless now. Who can be in the timeless now? Mostly we are in the timeful now. What time is it now? Well, now it's 5:37. But soon it's going to be 5:38. Will that be a different now? But when I say now, it's calling you to something which is more direct. Something your mind is afraid, seems to be afraid to be just direct, to be present, to be true. It's like something is always playing false, always hiding, always pretending, always up to some tricks. And it's able to do that because you endorse it. You give power to that. you feel you combine yourself with it. And why would you do that? Because you're not yet conscious of the truth of who you are. As you become more conscious again, you see, even the mind will come back to join you in the proper way. While you're still a bit blindfolded to your own consciousness, it will play and it will do all type of tricks with you. The mind will always say, later, tomorrow. It's like starting a diet or something. It will always be, tomorrow. We can do tomorrow, we got time, we got time. That is. But that is a delusion, and that's an illusion also. So don't panic and don't be in a haste. Truth does not need haste. Yeah. Openness. Openness is a very beautiful, very powerful thing, to be open. And then something becomes inside you, something urgent. Like it becomes urgent to know more about this. When this urgency arises within you, then other things begin to fade. Other attractions become secondary. Then this urgency becomes kind of emergency. Like, it has to be now. I can't wait. I cannot perceive of another day with an unfree mind. Like this. Then you go on fever. You get the fevers. Shiva fever, we say. You start to burn. No. So, because something you cannot stand yourself anymore. You know this feeling? I cannot stand myself anymore. And then somehow you just walk out of yourself somehow. I don't know. It happens. There is not a technique. It's all a play. And it's a marvelous play. It's a fantastic play. But until you find the truth, it can sometimes be very painful play. And this pain is helping you to find that which is beyond pain. This is a pain body and a pleasure body also. So we will feel both. But inside, beyond all the bodies, beyond mental bodies, emotional bodies, psychological body, there's one which is nobody. Nobody. And if you find this nobody, you'll be very, very happy. When you're discovering. You were also nobody in that time you told me about, in the morning, something. Nobody is there. When nobody is there, you're very happy. When nobody is here, you're very happy. When somebody comes, oh, yeah, time come and oh man, I got to do this, and that's somebody. Very good. Thank you. Very happy to meet you. Thank you. Very happy to meet you. Wonderful. Thank you. Okay. You know, we've been sitting here for 2 3/4 hours. It means nothing for me, I have to say, but we've been sitting here for thousands of years. Shall I tell you a story and then we close today? I've told it before. It's a story about Lord Rama. Rama was a prince, and he was in love with Sita. These are great stories in India. Rama was educated. His guru, I think, was Vashistha. And in the end, he became himself a master, a liberated being. Anyhow, for a while, he and Sita was ripped apart. And then he found Sita again and returned to Ayodhya. And then somehow his father, the king, he sent the brother of Rama. The brother of Rama's name is Lakshman. He sent Lakshman to go and find Rama's guru, who lived a very far away, because Rama is to get married to Sita. My son is going to get married to his beloved Sita. And also he is going to become king. So it is the right and proper thing that the guru of Rama should come and perform all the appropriate ceremonies, the rituals and so on, to initiate him into this kingship. So the brother, Lakshman, was sent by the father, the king. Go and find Rama's guru. He lives far away. And as a sign of my authority, I am giving you my ring. So when you see Guruji, you present Guruji with the ring and give him this message. Your servant, your devotee, your disciple, Rama, is about to be married to Sita. And he's also to be made king. Please come immediately and perform all the ceremonies that are befitting for such an occasion. Go now. So Lakshman mounted his horse. He was a good horseman. And he went off. And he's galloping. Soon he's over the hill and he's gone. And he's riding for days. Because of the king. The king is a request. And off he goes. And for days he's traveling. Then finally, after so many miles he's traveled, he arrives now into the region where the Guruji lives. Then finally he comes and he asks, do you know Sage Vashistha? Yes, over up there. Okay, thank you. And he slowly arrives now to the very place where the master is. When he arrives there, the master is sitting in meditation outside his hut. So Lakshman comes, stops, and he sees the master sitting. He says, he delivers the message. My father, the king, has sent me. I am Lakshman, the brother of Rama, your disciple. My father says that you should come, please, to the kingdom now, because your disciple, Rama, is about to get married to Sita, and he's also to be made king. And so the king requests your company, your presence, my lord, to come and to do the appropriate ceremonies and rituals and so on. And my father has given me this ring as a sign of his authority that I am genuinely the messenger of the king. So the master sat quietly. He looks at the ring, and Rama is still on the horse. So the master says, there's a pot over there. Put the ring in this pot. So Lakshman was with. Okay, he rode over. Takes the ring, and he does what the master says. He drops it in the pot. But it made an unexpected sound. Wow, something else is in the pot. So he picks the pot, and he couldn't see. So he empties it out on the place, and it was full of hundreds of rings. and all of them looked the same. I don't know which one is my father. And he's a bit confused. How did this happen? So he couldn't contain his confusion, and he went over. Guruji, sir, I did what you told me, and I put the ring in the pot, but it made funny sound, and then I looked inside and saw there are many hundreds of rings. I said, where did they all come from? And the master said, you put them there. Sorry? You put them there. But what are you saying, sir? I mean, I have never been here before. He says, yes, Lakshman. Because for life after life after life, you've been coming with the same approach. But until you get down off your horse and sit with me, this scenario will continue life after life. And what is this horse? Horse of pride. Horse of pride. He came into the master's presence and he took it upon himself. I am only taking a message and not seeing that it was his own opportunity to meet the master. Greater than merely a messenger. He could have been a servant, a devotee, a disciple, like his brother was wise enough to be. But he stayed on his horse. So he says, you put all these things there. Life after life, you're still making the same mistake, Lakshman. Until you step down from your lofty horse and sit with me, this will continue. Until we get down from our own lofty horses of pride and arrogance, your heart will not open to the opportunity that life brings to you. We have the sense that you were born on such and such a date. You have such and such a star sign. But you are timeless. But maybe for thousands of lifetimes we are doing this. And what is the end of game? To find out who you are. But you will not find out if you want to keep yourself. If you want to keep your pride, the pride of identity. And which identity is really yours in the first place? Because at different times in our life, we have a different idea of who we are. So of all these ideas of who we are that we've had over the different times in our lives, which one is the most true? Now presently you think this one is the most true. But everyone has been the most true in its time. Which one really is true? Or is any of them true? Or is all of them true? These things, we can reflect upon them. It will be good. Because it takes you in the direction of home. And in the end, all journeys are towards home. It's just a question of time. Okay, thank you for everybody for your attention and Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Can we have some music? I thought there was something today. We have a little bit as we come to a close. While they are preparing to do that, we can just sit quietly and don't think about anything. Just somehow there is a subtle movement, a subtle current. If you've really been here in any form of presence, then there's a subtle movement, a subtle current within your own self. Simply be conscious of that. Don't try and work it out. And allow it to help to open your eyes and to open your heart to real seeing, which cannot hurt you in any way.
So this mantra is Rama Dasa Sa Se So Hung, and it's said to be a very healing mantra, and everybody is invited to sing. Sa se so Ramadasa Sa se so Ramadasa Sa se soha 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 Ramadasa Sa se soha
will be satsang here next Sunday